on the way once again, and I thought, let me do the preview as I'm on the way. It's a big day, Man United versus Brighton. It's a 5:30 kickoff. I think there's only 2 games at 3 o'clock today. Yesterday we had Leeds winning against West Ham. It was a bit tighter than I expected in the end. West Ham are on free fall. They'll get themselves relegated by Christmas, I believe. I think Leeds were 2-0 up and then they ended up conceding late on. But other than that, I think it was a fairly comfortable win, and yeah, yet another promoted side, northern side, northeast-ish. Sunderland are doing well, basically. That's where I'm getting at. Sunderland are doing well, and Leeds are doing all right. Leeds are doing well. That's 2 promoted teams which are doing well. So I think it will be pretty spicy at the bottom of the table. But anyway, we're here to talk about Man United Brighton. And I'll start off with Brighton. Danny Welbeck, he's been getting a bit of coverage. I was watching That's Football, or is that what it's called? The Gary Neville's show with Roy Keane and Ian Wright. And, you know, they were pretty much touting and hoping that Danny Welbeck makes the England squad, the England team, potentially in the summer as well. I would completely endorse that. I think it's, you know, he's a great guy. Do I take him instead of likes of Ollie Watkins? What does it mean for the future? Perhaps not, but Ken Ollie, tournament football is this. You need to do what you need to do to win the tournament, period. And Danny Welbeck is pretty much in the form of his life. So why not? If he stays fit, if he's on form, I think England could absolutely benefit from Danny, and he would be a great addition because he's not coming in with any agendas. You know, we've recently heard of Steven Gerrard, Rio Ferdinand and likes talking about the camps. Don't think we've got the camp situation in this England team, in this England setup. But more importantly, even when we did have those camps, we always welcomed the likes of a Kevin Phillips from Sunderland. We always welcomed the likes of a Darren Anderton from Spurs, etc. Danny Welbeck would fall into that category. I don't think he'll be fazed by those big names from the big teams. He's been there. He's played for Man United, but he will certainly gel, bond with the rest of the team. And I'm fully behind Thomas if he picks Danny Welbeck. Well, we welcome Danny Welbeck to his old hunting ground, Old Trafford, today. We've got to find a way of keeping him quiet. So let's start there for Man United. Le Mans cemented his place in the Man United team. Now, he is our number 1 goalkeeper, even if he doesn't have that at the back of his jersey, number 31, which again, quite like. And out at the back, we had, I think, injury scares with Maguire. I think Mason Mount as well, but Maguire at the back had an injury scare. Question was asked of Amorim. I think there's been talk of Maguire. I know he scored the header. And I'm super happy for Maguire, but let's get it right. He is not the future of Man United. He's not, in my opinion, he's not in the best 3 centre-backs at the club. Licha Martinez, by the way, is another player who will be throwing his name in the hat very soon. We expect him to be back fit and fighting, and he'll be challenging Luke Shaw on that left-sided centre-back role. That's great competition. Both of them excellent players. Licha, very much in the mould of a Nemanja Vidic, throws himself to the ball, fearless, not the biggest, but makes himself an extra foot tall just with his sheer determination, aggression, tenacity. Brilliant player. But both him and Luke Shaw, if they've got one weakness, that is they do spend a heck of a long time on that medical bench. They're always on that injury list. So we've got to make sure we manage Licha back into the team, into the squad. It will take time. That's fine. Let's do whatever we need to do to keep this man fit. Because a fit Martinez, I believe, gets into most teams' starting lineup. So anyway, today Luke Shaw will be playing. De Ligt is our number one player, our number one centre-back, our best player so far this season. He will play, no doubt. But the question remains, does Mount play or does Lenny Yoro come in? I'll move Lenny Yoro out, by the way, of my fantasy league. He was a great value. I think he's the same price of Maguire. I just couldn't risk having him on my fantasy league, even though on merit, I think he is a really good centre-back and he deserves to start for Man United. He's young, so it's not beyond the realms of possibility and understanding for Amorim to manage him in certain games. I'm happy that he didn't play him against Liverpool, because Lenny Yoro is a player who will come out with the ball. He is excellent on the ball. He is a Rio Ferdinand, modern day Rio Ferdinand on the ball. We've got to use him to those capabilities. We've got to use him for those attributes. Now, against Liverpool, especially at Anfield, we expect Liverpool to come out and attack. We expect...
Vehicle stopped on road ahead.
So it makes sense for Maguire to come in, as long as we play to Maguire's strength, which is not pushing the team up halfway line and dominate the ball. Against Brighton, I expect Man United to be having the majority, the lion's share of the possession and the majority of the ball. As such, we need to close the gap between the defense and the attack, and we need to come out with the ball. So for me, Lenny Yoro starts today, period. Maguire, if he doesn't start, will most likely come on during the course of the game, and this is where I don't really agree. But anyway, let's see. So far, that's the way Amorim goes. His viewpoint is final, so that's where we are. But my predicted lineup would be Lenny Yoro with De Ligt in the middle and Luke Shaw. On previous talks, we've spoken about how I personally prefer De Ligt into that central sweeper role in the back three. He's that dominant and that commanding a presence. He'll take care of the heading on his own, and I don't think that's the fear against Brighton. Brighton play ball. We need ball playing centre back, and I think Lenny Yoro is much the better player. Out in the wides, I think Mazraoui is not quite match fit still. He came back from injury, and Diego Dalot, I think, is a bit of a nuisance on that left-hand side, so I do not want to see him on that left. I'd love to see Dorgu. Dorgu's got to sort his own crossing, and he's got to sort out his own consistency. But I think for a match against Brighton at home, Dorgu should play. Ahmad should retain his slot on the right-hand side. I don't think we should see Dalot on either. But if I had to play Dalot, if I wanted to see Dalot, I would much rather he plays on the right-sided flank, so as the right wing back over the left wing back. I don't think on the left he is anywhere near as efficient. Don't think it's fair on him, and he's essentially being critiqued. He's being used as a Phil Neville, modern day Phil Neville. Plays on the right, on the left. He's a, accessory man whenever the main person is not available, which isn't bad. We need those players, but I think Dalot risks himself of being rather not favoured by the fans by being played on the left hand side consistently. So I would rather, for his sake, that he doesn't. Okay, then we get to midfield. I expect the same. Casemiro, Bruno. Casemiro would have benefited. He would be one of the players who benefits, as well as Bruno, with not having any midweek game. Get a full week's rest in those legs and go out for at least 60 minutes, 60, 70 minutes. I think if Casemiro and Bruno play 60, 70 minutes, we should see out most games. And at that point, maybe Ugarte comes in, or Mainu, or both, to see off the end of the game. We trust them to do that. Up front, like at the back, I expect Lenny Yoro to come in. Up front, I expect Benjamin Sesko to come in. Mason Mount was potentially carrying a knock. I don't think we should risk him. Cunha is high on spirits, needs to start on the left, and Mbeumo on the right. Mbeumo is our most informed attacker. He retains his place. Cunha's had a great performance. I think he should come in. And Sesko, let's not leave him out for too long. Turned out to be a good decision to not play him against Liverpool. I personally probably still would have, because I don't think Van Dijk would have been able to handle him anyway. As it happened, Van Dijk couldn't handle Mbeumo. So, I'm pretty sure Sesko would have given him a handful. But more importantly for Sesko, we need to also work towards getting him confident, more and more confident. I think in the course of the running of the season, we will need Benjamin Sesko to be firing. Of course, Cunha and Mbeumo will support, and they've already contributed their goals. But I just think a fit number 9, the same with Arsenal and Gyökeres. You've got to play them, get in that box, get the numbers, get the confidence going, because in tough games they will bail you out. So that's my lineup for today. I'm going to keep it short and sweet for now. That's my predicted lineup. I expect there will be changes to this, but we will retain the 3-5-3 with the 2 wing backs, and I just hope it's more 3-5-3 and not 5-2-3. So what I mean by that, I expect the full backs to be fully attacking, dominating possession, and us playing high up the pitch. So that's it for me for now. Thank you very much, everyone. Wish you all a great Saturday. I'll be back on a bit later, hopefully prior to the match, but otherwise
Hazard reported ahead.
And hope United can win. Glory, glory, Man United, everyone. Have a good rest of your